We are live. Okay. Hey, everybody. Welcome back to Raw, Uncut News and Events. And my guest today is my friend and my technician from my other show, Carlos Caesar.
Thank you, Gene, for inviting me for this new. I think you have
New challenge.
you have a lot of time on your hands. God bless you.
Yeah. Well, if I don't do something positive,
You know.
we're going to be in trouble, right?
God bless you.
So.
I wish I had so much time on my hands like you do.
Yeah. Well, when you retire, you will. You know?
I'm not looking for
You're not looking forward? No?
retirement. No, I like to be busy. I like to be helping people, being on the move.
Hey, so listen, tell us about the movie in the park thing. What's going on with that? Because you had something left over.
Yeah. So what's happening is tonight I will be on the park board agenda requesting the Lafayette Park for a movie night. And what I'm doing is I'm trying to finish a job that we started last year. As you know, CDA sponsored 5 movies last year.
Right.
And one of the movies, and after 3 rainy dates, we run out of time and we had to return the movie. So the company allow us a credit for this year for a movie. So we're going to be utilizing that
free movie.
That free movie,
Right.
And all the payment that was already done.
All set, yeah.
But because it's a new year, we're gonna request. That's a loud phone right there. Jeez. That works. Yeah. Okay. So like I was saying, he loves to play with his phone.
Yeah.
So he just want to make sure that we live.
That's all.
And we are. Now I know we are.
Now we are. Yeah.
So with that being said, we are. It's into a new year, so we're gonna have to request a new date to the park board for this movie night. And with that being said, and I know you asked me before, we have no intent of putting any events at the parks this year.
Yeah. So this is just basically the money that was already allocated and paid in, and you have the credit.
Exactly.
Do you have a date for it yet, or you gotta wait for them?
I have a date already booked. I believe sometime in July, but
You pick the movie,
we're gonna use the same movie that it was not played
Which is
last year, which I don't have the list on.
Okay.
I don't even know which movie we played, but
Alright.
I don't even know that we were going to be talking about that. But
But let me follow up with that, Carlos, because last year I believe it was
was the Kennedy Park movie that we never played.
it was 3 days, 3 different dates. It really
3
was.
weekends straight that we
Right,
planned on Saturdays, and I believe one Saturday was too windy, and 2 Saturdays were raining.
Right. And then the kids went back to school.
Exactly. Then after that, we run out of time to play the movie. So when I returned the movie, I contacted the company and I said, we end up not playing this movie and running out of time, to play it. So what can you do for us? And they said, okay, we will give you credit next year.
I think, my organization, my nonprofit, helped pay for one movie when, I don't even know if it was last year. But I thought that, I've always felt that there isn't enough stuff being done in the summertime, especially for the youth scholars.
Well, and unfortunately, it's sad to say that people making decisions to utilize our parks
Yeah.
that we pay tax
That's
with.
ours.
That's our parks. Unfortunately, it's on the hands of 5 or 6 people that dictates if we allowed to use the parks or not. And I told them already, and I say this every time that I talk about, if it's money involved, if an organization is doing an event in a park and it's somehow money involved, raising money, I have no problem paying my dues,
Yeah,
paying
yeah.
to use the park.
Sure.
But organizations that do free events, we don't charge anything. We feed the people. We put DJs there. Everybody donates, so it's not $1 involved on that event in the park. Why did we still have to pay $125 a day? $125 a day, which these events we need to clean. We need to have, so it's nothing extra that goes into that park that needs to be paid.
They're just
that we
grabbing the
need.
money.
That we need. We have no janitor around. We have no bathrooms working.
Yeah.
Okay. Which is that's what I have another issue that now we are
Now they
after
want
300.
porta-potties.
Now that we are after $300,000 to put an electric in a park that already have an electric.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, the
To
gates.
upgrade electric system in a park that already have.
Yeah.
That on our city parks we don't have electric.
Right.
We have to bring generators in.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. But
but-
you got to remember, right? You got to remember the $300,000 upgrade to the electric down at the gates is because a specific group
Yes.
requested it.
Yes.
Who have
Well, they tried to twist it.
they tried. yeah, but it don't work.
Remember, they tried to twist it,
Yeah.
and
But with that-
I love the work, Sean Kadim's work. I love the work he's doing on the council. I have to say, but when other councilors start bringing up that it's Day of Portugal, he started to twist the
Yeah.
the request. Oh, well, if it's anybody that uses,
Yeah.
If
Because
you
it
go back,
benefits his culture.
if you go back to the request letter, it specifically says the Day of Portugal feast.
Yeah.
Okay, it's
And
like
he
this,
knows that.
it's like the same thing that Holy Ghost comes now and say, we have big stage now. We need to upgrade our electric,
That's
and
right.
we're gonna have to pay for it.
That's right. That's
And
right.
not $1 goes into the park
and
or
watch
into the city.
and watch and see because it's going to get done. So
Oh, yeah,
watch
yeah, I'm
and
pretty
see.
sure it's gonna get done.
Do you think that all these other groups are all of a sudden now are going to come and start holding events there because there's electric? No, they're not going to. Because you know what? If they were going to do it, this would have came up a long time ago.
And if you are
Bullshit.
an organization that want to use the gates of the city now because you don't have to pay for it, wait because it's coming. Because when people start showing interest and utilizing the park, or that's not a park, utilizing that space,
Yeah.
now it's going to be fees that's going to be added. I'm 100% sure.
Oh, absolutely.
I'm 100% sure.
And I hate to keep going back to this, but it's the only one that I can reference, and that is the big feast of the summer. Mm-hmm. And what was told to me last year was, all of a sudden now they're paying fees. They're paying permits. So now they're paying permits after 20 years of paying zero. But they're still not paying the police, DPW, EMS, fire, cleanups. All that. Who's paying for that?
Well,
And they're digging holes 4 feet deep in the ground.
But
I can't
versus the carnival, that I still have calls asking me if we're going to have it.
We
this year.
can't. They won't let us.
Because exactly. So what happened is we paid $125 a day. Okay, we give the city over $1,000 just to cover the park permits, and then we paid for the police. Okay, we paid for everything. Nothing
Yeah.
was free.
Yeah.
We had to pay for everything. Versus other organizations and other events,
Yeah,
okay,
yeah.
that they say, well, but that brings a lot of people from outside the city. Yes, brings people from outside the city, but when are we going to take care of people? When are we going to start taking care of people that live on the city, that pays tax on the city, versus that somebody that's going to come down for 2 days, going to stay in his brother or his father's house, okay, not going to use the restaurants because mother's going to cook a special dinner for him that night. That he's going to spend
families
home,
live
okay?
here.
So these people are basing this on because people is coming from out of town.
But even the vendors, they said, oh, well, people are spending money with the vendors. But do you know that majority of those vendors, I was told, come from out of town. So they're getting the money. They're selling the shirts, the hats.
Yes.
They're getting the money, but they're going back to their Canada, wherever they're from. It's not staying here forever.
Exactly.
And they say they don't make a profit, but wasn't there a
Well, let
report
me
that-
tell you this: if they don't make a profit, if they paying $700, $800, I heard $1,000 for space there, and if you don't make a profit in 1 year, are you coming back the second year?
No.
Okay. So you have vendors in there that's been in there since the feast started.
And
You
don't
want to
they
tell
have-
me they don't make money?
Don't they have a big party for the workers?
Oh, then they spend $12,000 in Venus de Milo or White
To have a party
Westport
for the planners.
for everybody that helped out, you know. But again, they raised on that weekend they raised over $100,000. Okay, and the money's gone. The last day of the feast, the money is gone, and they have $5,000 on the bank to start the feast the following year. Where went all that money? We do a feast just to pay and to have people playing and pay all these people, all these guests, 200 guests. They come from Portugal, they come from the islands and everything. I mean, to me, it's like
it's not, and this has nothing to do with being the Portuguese feast or anything. I think it's great. I don't have a problem with that. I have a problem with when you and I last year decided to do a carnival jointly, both our nonprofits. We got denied from the park. We found a place on Alden Street.
after they told you that they will give you the
After they told me they were going to give it
Exactly,
to me. Right.
yes.
Then we find a place on Alden Street. The guy's going to let us use the building. We get a contractor to go in there and fill all the holes and do all
Yes.
that stuff, right? Get ready. The guy brings all the equipment down,
yeah.
and it couldn't happen.
Yeah.
Right? So it's like we were going to pay for everything. Every single thing. Police, the whole 9 yards. The Johns, the Porta Johns.
Yeah.
It's okay for us, two broke nonprofits, to do that. But an organization that brings 100 G's, they make 100 grand, can't do the same thing. And I guess I just feel like
No, because the way the city answers that is it's to benefit the city. That fee is going to benefit the city. Well, it's going to benefit the city. I don't think the people around that park is happy with the feast. I don't think that
No.
the people for Rivet's happy. The end of the feast that we have $37,000 to pay to the police department with overtimes and all of that.
Yeah.
So it's a lot of points that people are not happy.
Yeah.
But guess what? For the city, it's good it's going to benefit the city. So all about giving a park for a carnival, since the kids have nothing to do.
nothing.
Okay, and it's a win-win situation because the funds raised from that carnival is going to go back into the community.
That's right.
Okay,
That's right. And what they don't realize is that this is not this carnival. If it would have went off, the profits from that we had already decided.
Yes.
we were going to do basketball shootouts. We're going to do
Yeah.
movies.
Yeah.
We're going to do more events with that money.
Yes.
We were putting it back in the community.
It's no doubt. Every carnival that we had on the city, the money went back to the city. The first carnival, and the idea was from former Mayor Flanagan, because it was his idea. He
Yeah.
was the one that brought
He brought
the
everything
carnival
down.
down,
Yeah.
and he knew that we had like 3 or 4 robberies on the weekend on Pleasant Street, and he told me the funds from this carnival, I want you to put back into Pleasant Street. And at the time, I met with the chief of police, and we agreed to buy cameras, and we bought the cameras. Okay, so in the following year, we got the money and we removed the pastors from the school.
Yeah.
So the money is put back, every single dollar, it goes back to this community.
Yeah.
Okay, so I don't understand what is the problem to have it, and I have to say it. Some people on the board still the same people.
Yeah.
But that happened because Mayor Flanagan, okay, put his soul into it and said, I want it there on the neighborhood. That on the neighborhood is gonna raise money to go back into that neighborhood.
Yeah,
So I want it in that neighborhood, and he decided to do it. That's why when we got denied it, that's why he mentioned a few times on his show that the mayor can do it.
Overwrite it.
The
Say,
mayor
I
can
want
do
it.
it.
Yeah.
Okay. But so I really believe that better days will come. But to finish our conversation about the parks and the park board license tonight, we not having anything. No requests to do any events on city parks until a future administration takes a look into this
Change some of them
and
policies.
change some of the
Antiquated.
policy
Yeah.
that makes no sense.
Yeah,
okay?
antiquated.
And so we can move on, and I hope that the next administration comes in. I don't know who it is. I don't know who's running, but I hope they have a better eye and they can understand better that the city parks, it's for the city taxpayers
It's the people.
to use, and that's for people to use.
And we watched the park board make these decisions
Mm-hmm.
repeatedly.
Yes.
And when we advocate that this gives a positive thing for the kids to do and brings families together, their response to doing things for kids was to go and put a curfew on the parks. So that you can't even be in the parks after a certain time. And I know I understand the violence and everything that goes on today, but you know what? If you have groups of kids shooting hoop and you have a cop that's making circles, shit ain't gonna happen.
Well,
You know what I mean?
This is-
Curfews, you know.
this city don't have enough things to entertain our youth.
And that's why
They
you
don't
have
have
vandalisms.
nothing. They don't.
Yeah.
I mean, these people don't have nothing. You know, I mean, you go to a park, you see kids. They are playing basketball, but guess what? As soon as it gets dark, they're out of there
Yeah.
because
Yeah, you can't, because you'll throw
even
you
them
off. Yeah.
even them are afraid to stay there.
I wanted to do midnight basketball. When I worked for Buddy Cianci many years ago, he was big on that. And actually, he had a council of gang members. They were gang leaders that would meet, and they would talk about having truce and playing this game without violence. It was unbelievable.
You know something? It's just I have a lot of ideas that we can put into our parks. We can have camping. We can put programs a weekend camping. The parents can camp with their kids.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Put so they can have that feeling of camping.
Yeah.
You could have park libraries. Every weekend you have library cars there, and you bring your kids to become a member of the
Yeah,
library, and how excited they will be because they will be carrying a card now that they can rent books
Yeah,
to read books and everything. I mean, it's so
There's a
much
lot
you
of
can
stuff.
do.
There's a lot
It's
of
so
stuff.
much you can do when you to put for the youth and for the kids of the city. The problem is the city is not event friendly.
Yeah.
Period.
Yeah.
It's the city is not a event friendly, and you have organizations that are moving their fees into the Heritage Park, so they prefer to deal with the state,
Right. Which is tougher usually.
which is tougher. But they have permits from the state to utilize a state park.
Yeah.
That they utilize a small
Yeah.
neighborhood park.
Yeah.
This makes no
And,
sense.
and you know what? And the administration is fixing parks, and they're putting playgrounds in, and they're doing the
but then they keep
sidewalks.
the kids away from.
But then we can't use it.
Exactly. So let's put money into fixing the parks so the parks look beautiful.
Yeah.
You know, it's
So if the mayor's listening,
it's like a nice, beautiful plate of food.
so if the mayor's
You're just
listening-
gonna look at it. You
What
cannot
we-
touch it.
Right. What we can do is we can say, if the mayor hears this, that we are requesting that the park board remove that foolish, antiquated 1990 something regulation they put in there, right, about carnivals and stuff.
Well, And let me
Why
tell you
can't we do
this:
that?
in 1976, they put this regulation, and I cannot blame them
Yeah.
for putting, because back then the organization that was putting those carnivals,
Yeah.
they were just looking for money and destroy the parks.
Yeah.
But when you have an history, that you already bought 3 carnivals and was no damage to the parks, that we put $5 million, the city requests $1 million bond. We put $5 million bond, okay, for damage that it's
Yeah.
done to the park when we leave.
Yeah.
We come the next day, we inspect the park, it's no damage done, period. See you later. Was a nice event.
Right,
Okay.
right.
Another thing is, during this three years that we bought the carnival, the police didn't have one thing to say bad about it.
Yeah.
They
All
enjoy
the
walk
reports,
the rounds
yeah, yeah.
and interact with the kids. They talk to the kids and everything. So it was good even for the police to walk around the kids.
Yeah,
you know?
well, it gives them an opportunity for the kids to see them in a friendly atmosphere.
Exactly.
You know?
So it was not one complaint.
No,
I mean, if it was something that say, was a big fight there, was people drinking there, let's shut it down, no more carnivals. But it was nothing like that. So I just have to say, I hope that whoever new administration comes in, because to tell you the truth, I don't think this administration is going to do anything about it. It's been 5 years, nothing it's changed. So that's why I keep insisting the new administration, because now it's a light at the end of the tunnel that that we probably will have a new administration, that they can look into the city parks and give the parks back
I hope
to
so.
the taxpayers.
I hope so, because I mean, right away we started talking months ago about what we're going to do for the summer, and again, we're not doing anything because we don't have the access and the support.
I don't. To tell you the truth, I don't want to go in front of the park board to request a city park for any event.
Okay.
Matter of fact, we need to clean up. We need to do a cleanup on Britain Park.
Yeah.
We have to request the park to do a cleanup on the park.
Why? What do you mean request the park?
I mean, I thought I had to let them know that we're gonna do a cleanup, right? Write a letter to them, say,
Yeah.
such a day we're gonna be cleaning up. No, we had to request.
We
the
used
park.
to go to the mayor and say, we're going to do a cleanup at the park, and can you notify DPW to have the truck available with the bags? That's all we did in the old days. I mean, I don't even mean the old days. 5 years ago.
No, it's I believe on the agenda today also is a request for a cleanup on the park.
That's ridiculous. Now, talk about bureaucracy, red tape, bullshit, and why people in the community don't want to get involved.
Kiss me, kiss the ring.
Yeah.
Kiss me the ring.
Kiss my ass. All right, so listen, in the news today, right? Check this out.
You have those cards cut,
Yeah.
cut, beep.
Yeah. No, that's why I like this show. I can say what I want. But did you hear today about an 18-year-old and a minor opened fire at a school in
Yes.
Denver?
Yes. Well, here's my things to do with the guns, and now it's a big movement that, people want to take the guns away from me. It's my right. It's my right. Let's start from the beginning. The old fathers, when the old fathers put that on the law, if they come back today, you think they would put that there?
No.
Okay, so something's wrong.
Yeah, it hasn't been changed since before.
Something's wrong, because guess what? Just because I'm an American, I don't think should be a right for me to have a gun. If I own a gun, I have more chances to be killed by my gun that I have to defend myself.
Yeah.
Because that gun on my hands, I'm going to shake it so much, I'm going to put it top of the table and tell the guy, do what you have to do.
Yeah. I remember when I came back in the military and I applied for a personal protection license. Back then, you had to have a reason. My reason was I worked for a company where I made night deposits. Okay, and the gun was protection. So in those days, you had different licenses. You had hunting licenses. Today, they put everything under one umbrella.
But what I think is, I mean, I'm going to give you a comparison because now it's like, it's my right, it's my right, it's my right. After 9/11, they changed so much the way
Yeah.
your security,
Homeland
the way
security.
you travel.
Yeah, yeah.
Because you can get to the airport now and say, it's my right to keep my shoes on.
Yeah.
Then they're going to say, you know something, you're not getting on that plane if you don't take your shoes off.
Yeah.
Your shoes off. You know what I'm saying? So something was done
Yeah. Yeah.
about that.
Times
about
changed.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But nothing's been done about the guns. 99% of the times, that's not illegal guns that makes those scenes. It's not. It is legal guns. It's parents that are not responsible to keep their guns locked.
Yeah.
Okay.
Or people are breaking in and stealing them.
And you know something? I think that if I own a gun, I'm responsible for that gun. I don't care if that gun got robbed in my house.
You're still liable.
It's my responsibility.
Yeah.
Somebody stole my house and stole my gun and shoot somebody. I'm the owner of the gun. I'm responsible. I'm the one should go to jail.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay? So, because if we don't put tough rules, this never gonna end. This never gonna end.
I mean, that's just sad. One kid died. I guess 8 more were seriously injured.
And we just go to the next one. Okay, when is
Just
the
move
next
on,
one?
next school.
Yeah.
Next school.
Let's move on.
Next school.
And let's not do
Yeah.
anything about because it's my right as American to
Right.
own a gun.
Right.
Well, I have a license. Guess what? It's not my right to have a license.
And you know the funny thing is I was in the military, so I was trained on a lot of different kind of guns, right? But you know, you can go get that license, but when it comes to pulling the trigger on a man, not a target, on a man, it's a different story. You know?
and it's this big movement too to give teachers a gun. Well,
That's crazy.
I would not feel comfortable sending my kid to school knowing that the teacher has a gun.
No.
You know what I'm saying? Because I don't know if the teacher had a bad day. And now I know for sure that the gun will be on my kid's class.
Yeah.
Or where that gun's going to end up.
Yeah. Put the money into the school resource offices.
Do more security.
That's what they
Do
did.
changes.
More
You know.
cameras, lock the doors up.
Exactly.
It's very unfortunate. I often go up and down, Carlos, on the fact that we live in a society today where we're not free. Mm-hmm. You're gonna have double locks on your doors, pit bulls, cameras around the fucking house.
And you know something? Even on the flights, they still working on. It's been so many years. They did so many changes
Yeah.
that starting on 2020, you cannot put your feet on the airplane if you don't have a proper ID, the new ID,
Yeah.
which has your passport information on. Which thank God I already have it. and I was probably the first week. The motor vehicles closed on Friday to change the computer system. I was there on Monday or Tuesday to do my because I travel a lot, so I would like to have that sooner than later. But the thing is, 2020 comes. If you don't have that ID, you're gonna have to travel, even if it's 1 hour traveling. If you go down to Florida, you're gonna have a passport to travel with your driver's license. Because if you don't have that information on your driving license, your passport information on your driver's license. But even now, and it's so much secure to travel today. I feel so much secure going into an airplane today than back then. But they're still working on it.
Yeah.
Versus the gun issue, that it's been years,
Yeah.
and it's nothing's been done. Or very little is being done because politics plays into this. When home security said that's the policy we're going to put in, and no questions about it.
Yeah.
That's what we need to be safe.
There needs, like as times change, policy needs to change with them, and that's often the problem.
Exactly.
We're antiquated laws.
Yes.
Citywide cleanup. So May 18th at 8:30 a.m. They are meeting at City Hall to do the citywide cleanup. But Flint Neighborhood Association is doing one too on the same day.
Well, we every year, and I think the city dropped the ball a couple of years ago because it was done through CDA.
Yeah.
If you remember,
I remember,
they used to do a citywide cleanup, and then they would finish at 12 o'clock at the
And they had the cookout.
the cookouts at Kennedy Park. So for the past 2 years, at least 2 years, it was nothing. But we kept going every year
The clean.
the cleanups. So we did the cleanup. The 18 we already had scheduled the cleanup on Alden Street, and so on the 18th is going to be the cleanup on Alden Street with the youth group, the Fall River Youth Group. Sponsoring us. Then on the 25th, we do with our friends from the fire department. They love to do that, and we thank them so much for
That's
that.
Cash Street.
That's Pleasant Street.
Pleasant Street.
We put the mulch under the trees and we clean up Pleasant Street
yeah.
for the next day, the procession of the Espiritu Santo Church.
For the firefighters are great when it comes
Oh
to helping
my
them.
God!
Incredible.
Those guys, they do so much for our neighborhoods. They're unbelievable. They raise money they raise money for movie nights.
Right.
They sponsor movie nights for us. It's unbelievable. I have a big group of them coming for the Shrimp Mozambique for the fundraiser Saturday.
Yeah. They call it in,
Yeah, so Chief
That's
Rich
Sunday,
already-
right?
That's Saturday.
This Saturday.
This Saturday.
All right, so tell the people what
That's
they're doing.
Katia Sart Scholarship fundraiser. It's going to be at the San Anthony of Desert
on County Street.
No,
Right?
that's Northeastern Avenue. That's right on the corner of Northeastern
okay.
Avenue.
Yeah.
So
Let
it's
me-
shrimp Mozambique or chicken Mozambique. The prices are $15 per ticket, and the funds raised from that fundraiser goes into a kids from Durfee scholarship that we give every year. And the fire department, it's always there, and
Jason Burns and his boys.
Burns out there, Bernard out there, and Chief himself is going to be there too. So
If
it's
anybody
nice.
wants tickets, you can reach Carlos Garcia.
At the door, right at the door.
Oh, right at the door?
Yes.
All right.
That's something that
I get the chicken. I love the chicken.
we serve about 150 people every
Yeah.
year.
Yeah.
It's takeouts or 1
Or
o'clock
sit down.
we eat there. 1 o'clock usually I have all my friends sitting in.
Are they going to have alcohol this year?
No, we don't.
Booze.
No.
Okay.
But it's something that we never sell tickets in advance.
Yeah, no.
People give me the names, and then they
always
show
good,
up
though.
there, and we always have a nice time.
It's the same,
there.
it's pretty much the same faces
Rick,
every year.
Rick Bottle, that's his name.
Rick Mon.
No, Rick. Oh my God, I'm sorry. His last name he's from the Angels Anonymous. He's on a group of Angels.
Rick
Anonymous.
Barrow.
That's it.
Ricky Barrow.
Sorry, Rick. I always have a hard time with his name.
That's the guy that does the furniture I told you about.
Yes.
Yeah.
So he there and he donates his music. So he's there DJing for us.
Cool.
Thank you, Rick.
Yeah.
So great guys.
Great.
And another great organization that Angels Anonymous. We really I have
They do
a lot of good friends there.
They do the food pantry now. They do the clean less,
Mm-hmm.
not as many cleanups, but they do the cleanups. They do the big with the food pantry.
Yes.
So they're doing
Great,
well.
great organization.
I like those guys. So another thing came up was there was I guess there was a big underground investigation going on in Bristol County, and it was called Operation Ghost, right? And it was both state and federal and local police, and they were doing raids for fentanyl, right? And reported that they got 6 keys of fentanyl were seized in Operation Ghost. That's shit that would have been in Fall River and New Bedford in this area. So they are targeting the right people. They're targeting the bigger guys, the guys who are putting the deadly shit on the street, and they're not targeting the user who really needs treatment. So for that, I wanted to mention, I applaud them for doing it that way. Often in the past, Blue Thunder and stuff like that, they targeted the user, and I didn't feel that was.
My thing with that issue and overdosing people and everything is they have a problem, and we always go wherever it's easy for us to get.
Yeah.
And I think it's wrong. So I think they're starting to understand that
they're catching on.
we cannot fit more people in jail.
Yeah.
So now we need to, instead of putting 100 people, 100 users in jail, we need to put one person in jail.
That's right. And to end the show, Senator Mike Rodriguez and I spoke on Sunday, and he informed me that the Senate version of the budget is done. It's right there, so it's going into conference and all that. And he told me that they have a lot of money for treatment. They're actually going to open 4 treatment facilities. There's a lot of money at the grassroots. There's a lot of money going to prevention education for the kids, right, which we always care about. So we look forward to seeing that, and we thank Mike Rodriguez.
Sure. And a great delegation. We have a great delegation there up at
and
on
Mike's
the
now
state.
the chairman of Ways and Means. I mean, you don't get much more juice than that.
And I'm going to put my plug into our state delegation. They at the state level, they need to start talking about school transportation.
Yeah,
because
transportation's out of hand.
Exactly, transportation is out of hand. Our regional government, their hands are tight because the orders come from the state, and our delegation in Boston need to start having conversations about what can we do to reduce this transportation because it's out of hand.
And they need to help communities like Fall River to start to buy our own fleet. We don't need to have all of them, but we need to have a small fleet.
No, I mean with transportation, we have an issue, okay, and sometimes it's not much the buses. Is the way that the law is wrote that makes no sense for a 50-seater have 14 kids on it.
No.
When we paying enough to transport,
you're paying 50 seats.
Exactly. It's no reason why parents wait in corners of the streets with their cars for a bus that would take them.
They could already had a school.
Take them more time to wait for the bus to drop the kids to the bus than it would take them to take the kid to the school. It's no reason for us to have 3 different buses in one route. Each one of them carrying 2 kids when one could carry all the 6 kids.
Because of IEPs and things like that.
Exactly. This is all language that needs to be changed at the state level.
And I've always felt that if we had a small fleet of buses, small buses, that we would handle the IEP students, the special ed students that need, they can't be in big buses, and the handicapped kids, right? Because I think there's not that many of them that we can't have the buses to do that. If we did that, that would save us a ton of money because those are the buses that you're speaking about that have 4 kids on them when it's a 24-seat bus.
It's same route, but they cannot be together.
Right.
So,
but if you had a small van, you put 2 in this one, 2 in that one. Now it's way cheaper. Even if you got to use 3 vans, it's much cheaper than a whole big bus with a driver.
Yes.
So.
But all this cannot be changed locally.
No.
It has to be up to the state to change it. And just like the water and sewer that we are paying, by the hairs, and all this money, I will say, you are demanding us to do it, you're going to pay for it.
Yeah.
And
we got screwed with that CSO project. And the point of the fact is, the Congress and the people upstairs, the big guys, they don't even want to hear it. The delegation has reached out.
No,
and they don't
I
wanna
think
hear it.
our delegation, our state delegation that we have, if they want to start talking
Right,
about,
right.
I think they will end up in a good place and having good resolutions for
Well, let's
for
hope
the
so.
problem.
Let's hope so.
That's it.
So there you
I
go.
think we're on for 40 minutes.
Pretty good, right? So there you have it.
We never run out of argument.
No. And you know what's nice about this? We're not hammered to that 30 minutes where the cameras go off.
Exactly,
We can
yeah.
run it at will.
Thank God we're not limited to people watching too, because that then will last 5 minutes.
Well, the last
Nobody
couple-
on, so we shut it off.
Last couple of shows have been getting like 2,000, 1,900 views. So that's good.
Good luck on your new adventure here.
Yeah,
And,
well, I'm going to make you a part of this.
uh,
We'll make you
I
a part
already
of it.
have a lot of partnerships.
And yeah, but thank you for coming on. And folks, thank you for watching. It's Mean Gene Raw Uncut News. Spread the word, share the video, and we will see you again on Friday. Stay safe. God bless.
Same here. I second.